So today I want to start working on the matrix. I want to fix a few other little things on this car because one thing that I was having a problem with was as soon as I went to go put water or anything into the coolant reservoir, but yeah, as soon as I went to put water or anything into that coolant reservoir, it would instantly just drain out. So I'm assuming there's a crack or something in there. I have this plastic weld kit. I'm gonna try to use it and see. It comes with it comes with clear, and it also comes with black plastic. All it is pretty much just a glorified soldering iron. But I'm gonna try to fix that as well as clean this engine bay up a little bit. There's a pretty bad oil leak that I assume it's pretty bad, but it's really bad on this side. I think it's a timing chain cover, but I want to try to clean this engine bay up a little bit, get it looking cleaner, as well as just looking better, so that way working on this going forward will be pretty easy. But just trying to get all the crud off the engine and everything like that, because when I worked on this engine before, I was getting oil all over my hands because this car has not ever been maintained. So we're gonna do that, pull the bumper off, find the coolant reservoir. Hopefully we can patch up whatever is the problem. So, I mean, you can see the oil leaking. It's not terrible. I mean, this piece of cardboard has been here for a good couple months, so it's not like a lot of oil, but it is leaking it. So I want to try to narrow it down to where it's leaking. I know this car has a valve cover leak as well, because there's a bunch of oil inside the spark plugs. I will probably be replacing all of those seals pretty soon, but right down here, I want to try to clean off as much oil as I can, and just get this engine bay looking a lot cleaner and easier to work on. So I'm pretty sure this is a good, healthy car, but I do need to make sure and just clean up everything and try to get this car running like brand new. But let's try to figure out how to take this bumper off, because this thing is just being held on with a lot of zip ties, barely being held on. So, but I know there's one here, a couple screws here, so let's pull that out real quick. Alright, so I finally got the bumper off. Seemed to take me a little bit more effort than I thought it was going to. I didn't realize that this had all the bottom bolts still on it. I would expect with how it was hanging on there that it wouldn't even have those, but it did. It had all four of the bottom bolts on here. So now that that's off, we can take a look at this pump here. And I think too, this car was in some type of accident, and I think it hit this side. And you could definitely tell something is slightly bent here, and it's all kind of rusty. But the container, I see there's a crack here, but I don't think it's leaking. Because like I said, it won't hold any liquid, so I'm gonna go put some water in here and we can see where this thing's leaking out and see if we can fix it. Otherwise, I'll have to try to source another one. Oh wow, and I didn't even look at this. The crash bar here too is all messed up here. But that's not a big deal, because the frame rail really doesn't look like it's messed up at all. Might have a little bit of a crinkle here, but not much. The car doesn't drive bad at all. So like the accidents that this was in were just minor fender bender accidents. So, but like that, not a big deal. We can always buy another one or straighten that out, whatever. But let's try to fix the necessity item, because when I was driving one day, I didn't realize I don't have any windshield washer fluid. So, and then I went to go try to fix it and or fill it up, and all it did was just leak out. So, all right, so I just got a cup of water real quick. So I can already hear it and see it leaking out. I don't know where. Okay, it looks like, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Yeah, there's a crack down at the bottom right here. It's kind of outlined in like black. So that's where it looks like it's leaking out. And we'll try to weld repair that. Alright, so while that water is draining, I'm gonna try to figure out how to use this. So I just plugged this thing in, and it has a switch for high, low. Just turn it on high to hopefully let it heat up. I've never used one of these types of things, but I'm assuming we're gonna scuff up the plastic. I don't know what the screwdriver is for. Oh, I think that's to change out tips. We got the extra plastic. I don't know what that's for. Some sandpaper. Some black plastic. I'll just keep in there. I guess it gives you a little bit of instructions. And then some fiberglass like reinforcement. And I don't know what this tape is for, but so that's what the kit comes with, and it comes with a few other additional tips. I'm just going to use the wide one because I just want to melt that all in one go. So I'm going to let this heat up, and hopefully this will drain out pretty quickly, and then we'll just rough this up and then probably give it a little bit of finer sandpaper here, and then try to melt the little plastic onto that. So, but this would be pretty nice if this works, to use this kind of stuff to fix like a little crack like this. But all in all, I mean, this isn't that expensive. So, but if you guys are interested, I'll put a link down to this so that way you can try it out yourself. But let's let that water drain. Let's let this heat up, and then we'll give that a shot. All right, so I ended up just taking it out of the car. It's actually a lot easier than I thought. There was a bolt here. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a bolt here, and then there's a bolt all the way in the back. The bolt all the way in the back was, I don't know if it's supposed to be. This was the bolt that came out of the back. I don't know why it was so long, but it was a 10 millimeter. So I'm just gonna assume that this is meant to be like that. But yeah, so it's just pretty simple. And then these are just O-ringed seal, like gaskets in there. You could just wiggle them out. So this car has 2 pumps on it because there's one in the front and then one in the back. So, but now I got this out and we can see that crack a lot better. So we'll try to fix this up and get this looking pretty good. I have no clue how this is supposed to go, if you're supposed to like heat this up onto it. Or how this works, but because it really doesn't look like it's melting the actual plastic of the container. More of just putting on a layer of plastic over it. But we'll let this cool down real quick, and then we'll put a little water in here and see if it holds it or not. But I mean, it seems simple. That's all you have to do. I mean, and it seems like it dries fairly quick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This looks like it's in pretty bad shape, but we'll see if we can fix this, and then maybe eventually buy a new one. Okay, so after drying this off, it still looks like there's a little bit of a crack that I didn't see. So I'm gonna dump this water out and do that. But it does seem like it sealed up the other spot. So this does work. The only thing, it might not look as clean as you might want it to, but it definitely will seal up something if you need it to. Alright, so I got that spot all welded up, and it seems like it's holding water pretty good. And then I went to go clean this thing off and look for any other cracks, and man, did I find another crack. Like, holy crap, this thing's pretty much garbage. But I found that. And then also too, the neck filler here has a giant crack right here. So yeah, this thing really, it can still hold water now. It won't be able to hold as much water. I'm still gonna put it back. I got it somewhat cleaner. And it will hold some water, but once it gets up to like roughly here, it's not gonna hold any more water because obviously this is gonna leak out there. But let's throw this back in. And now I know this will be something I need to put on my to-do list to buy another one of these washer fluid things. I was hoping I could salvage it, which I will be able to. I'll be able to keep water in it up to a certain point, but it just won't be able to fill up all the way. And also definitely we're gonna spill if you try to fill in anything. It's definitely gonna come out right here. So hopefully these aren't too expensive to just order, but we'll have to order one of those soon. All right, so let's add some more water. Let's hopefully. Oh crap. Oh. I don't think I have this in good. It's leaking right out. Alright guys, so after messing around with this other pump here, I wiped it off really good, cleaned it really good, and now it seems to be good. It does leak water when you put water down the spout, but that's because there's a big crack in there. But so far, it's holding, what we did is holding water. So, because I don't know if you guys can tell, the water level is about right here. It is holding some, and it's not leaking. So I could probably put more in here, but I want to make sure the windshield wipers and stuff work. So let's try that real quick. So let's see if the front works. Okay, well I think something's backwards here because when I do the rear one, water comes out the front. When I do the back one, nothing comes out. Alright, so I fixed the leak down at the bottom. It is holding water. It is leaking a little water because I dripped a lot when I was pouring it. But when I was looking at the motors, I can get the front to come on, but the back one is not coming on. I think the back motor is bad, so I will probably have to replace this as well. So when I replace this, I'll look for a new pump. That way we can have both windshield washers working. But now I'm gonna clean these headlights real quick since I got the bumper off. It'll be pretty easy to sand these and then get them cleaned up, and I'll just put a little bit of ceramic coat over it. That way it'll preserve them a little bit. But I do plan on upgrading the headlights sooner or later. But for now, just to clean this car up a little bit, I'll just sand these and then just give them a good polish. Alright, so these headlights are pretty bad. I'm gonna use a 400 grit first. We'll see how that comes out, and then I'll work my way up to like 1,000, 2,000, and then polish it. But I'm not looking for perfection on these. I'm just looking to clean it up to make this car look a little bit better. Alright guys, so I've wet sanded this one. I started at 400, went to 800, 1,000, and then 2,000. And this is what this looks like now. It looks much better compared to the last headlight here. And it's weird too, like these headlights are getting like these orange specks in here, and I have no idea what that is, but I imagine it's something with the clear coat. I'm gonna wet sand this one, and then we'll polish these and get them looking as good as I can. And then I have some ceramic spray that I'll put over these just to preserve them, to make them look a little bit better for now until I can get some new headlights. All right, so I just finished both of these, wet sanding them, and they came out pretty good. This one definitely has a lot of like micro fracture cracks like inside the headlight. This one not so much, but now let's take some polishing compound and try to shine these up as good as possible. But it's just crazy. Whoever painted this car, like, they didn't even take the headlights out. It's not even that hard to take the headlights out. But like, there's spray paint all over. I was getting rid of a lot of the residue. There's still a little bit here, but not as much. But yeah, like, they didn't even take the headlights out, and they got overspray all over them. Alright, so I definitely have to say it's not perfect, but it is a million times better than what it was. Because there's still scratches from the rougher sandpaper that it didn't quite get off all the way, but like I said, I wasn't even looking for perfection. I was just trying to clean these up just to make them look halfway decent. So there's one that just is wet sanded, and this one is polished. Hopefully you guys can see good because of the sun, but definitely very foggy over there, and this one's very clear over here, and it feels so much cleaner as well. It's super smooth. So let me do this one real quick, and then we'll throw the bumper back on. Alright, so I got the bumper all together, got the headlights looking as good as I can for the stock ones right now. They definitely look a million times better than they did, because this is what they looked like before, and now this is how they look. So much clearer, still a little haziness, but you can actually see the chrome inside the headlights. So that one actually came out a little better than this one. This one looked way worse anyways. So, but now also, I put in some fog lights because there was no bulbs in there. Hopefully they work. So I'm going to turn on the headlights, make sure everything's working good, and then wrap up this video. I was going to clean up the engine bay, but when I went to go grab my degreaser is completely empty, and I noticed there's a little crack in there. So it all, I don't want to say it all leaked out, but I had like an inch or two left in there and it leaked out. So let's start this car and make sure everything works. I mean, in the interior of this car it's a pretty clean car once I got it all cleaned up. There's a few little things. The shift boot is still missing, but the one that was in here was crappy. But the car's running, everything looks good. Let's turn on the headlights. Oh look, that fog light doesn't work, of course. That fog light does. This emblem, this whole grill is messed up. What isn't bad on this car? Hopefully soon this car will be running good and like a new car again. So, but definitely looks a million times better. Wish that fog light worked. I hope it's just the bulb and not anything else. And the AC also works good on this car too. Like, I mean, like a lot of things that would be wrong with a normal car, this car is perfectly fine. And a lot of things that would a normal car be good, there's problems with this car. So, but yeah, hopefully, I mean, this car will come along. I do need to spend a little more time on this car, but I want to definitely get the engine leaks fixed on this car, and definitely start working on just repairing everything else, as well as the, oh my god, those things aren't even shooting at the, well, one of them isn't. But I got the front ones to work. The rear one, it doesn't come on when I fix it, or when I turn this on. I think the pump is bad. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.